House to Home, brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Liz and Gina are here from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. And ladies, I wanted to ask you a question from my own experience with real estate, if I may, because last week my teammates and I, for Giving Tuesday, we were driving around the island, and when we went to Southern High to pick up some supplies that the really, really nice kids are freshmen from Southern High, they donated a bunch of canned goods. We noticed when we're going through Santa Rita, like in Apra Heights, a lot of the houses there, because they're based on hills or embankments or anything like that, they're built on angles. You know, they have these like extensions, you know, for decks and things like that. I was wondering, what more regulatory inspections and whatnot do you have to go through if you want to build a house that's that unusual, let's say? And what does that do to the value of your house once that kind of structure is built?
Actually, the owner would have to go through the regular permitting process. I think the key there would be your architect would have to look at the lay of the land and then figure out what design would be suitable. Now, if they're insistent on building right on the cliffside, the first thing you want to look at is the structure, the substructure of the soil conditions. Are you building on rock? Are you building on clay?
Limestone. Maybe.
Limestone. So they'll probably have to do some soil testing. And then from there, the architect will figure out what design. Now, if the soil is rather soft and the solid structure is a little further, they may need to drill and pour concrete so that it's whatever they do in their building, it stabilizes it. And even if the structure itself protrudes, they have designs, the architects have designs that they would design it so that they support it. They have beams and whatever, but that's their job. And of course, the engineer supports that. Of course, that's not our line of expertise, but from our experience, that's pretty much the process.
And in the South, there are a lot of houses like that are built, you know, on you know, the side of interesting formations that nature has provided us with. And you know, some architects can get very, very enterprising and say like, hey, I've come up with a really cool design. It's an amazing house. So what does that do to the actual value of a property after it's built?
You know, depending on how you do your floor plan, because we actually built on that in that area. We built on Cross Island Road.
There's a lot over there.
Yeah, we built there, and our property is not unique, but it was odd because it is. So our property is kind of cut up into two parts, an upper level and a lower level, and what, you know, in terms of value, but in terms of construction, when we were designing the house, our contractor gave us the option of backfilling. But when we looked, we said, that's a lot of dirt to bring in. And when you bring in dirt, unfortunately, it's going to cause compaction issue because, you know, dirt that you throw into a property isn't as hard as dirt that's already naturally there. So we told the people who were doing our plan, we don't have the money to waste on backfilling. So we decided to build a house, and I didn't want it to be so two-story because I knew in the long run the house was, I thought I was targeting a market that wouldn't appreciate a two-story floor plan. So we made it split level, but not necessarily two-story. So I just kind of worked with the lay of the land so I wouldn't have to do backfilling or a two-story floor plan. I sat down with the people that were designing it and I said, okay, listen, I want to spend less and get more bang for my dollar. How do I do that without backfilling, without doing a two-story? So we worked out a plan. I think in the long run, because we made our floor plan very usable, so even if you were younger, older, it didn't matter, you could still use the floor plan. I think that's what enhanced our value.
Yeah, I would think just naively that it would send the resale value, you know, through the roof because it's so unique. It's, you know, it's not just, you know, obviously it's not a modular home that people could just like slap, you know, like a few walls together and then, you know, just raise them and put an A-frame on top of it and everything like that.
There are factors that are involved with value. I mean, if it has a terrific view, ocean view, there's a factor there that would increase that value. If you can build a pool, the interior layout, as Gina has said, if the interior layout is appealing, it's modern enough and open enough that someone could later, even if they had to redesign it to suit their taste after a number of years, they could do it easily. The old style, a number of years back, is we used to have so many walls. So now the more modern design is you walk in and you have a more open living floor plan. You could be cooking dinner and entertaining your guests. So the lifestyle over the years have changed. So your values will be based on what is considered modern at this time. So again, if you look at the buildings now, the rock face, remember in the 70s, those used to be the modern design.
And that's a trend that always
a
changes.
trend, and it changed, and now it's come back
So
again.
could the value actually plummet, you know, maybe 30 years from now when when what
CJs,
is seen as like revolutionary now is seen as like useless and dated and just
And that's, you know, you talk about uniqueness, and I always caution people, listen,
Be careful.
unless you're planning on holding it forever, be careful with unique. Because what's unique and
to you
fantastic to you,
may not
I could
be.
walk in there and I'm like, ooh, this is a little too unique for me.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That is correct. So when it's too unique, you are actually eliminating part of the market that wouldn't appreciate that. And there's been homes built here that have that unique feature that is not appreciated by many.
All right, ladies, well, we got to end with this. None of us here on the set right now are architects, but let me get your opinion. Flying buttresses, do they exist on Guam, and would they even work? I'm recalling this from my art history class at UOG, like 1992.
Okay, that's for the next segment.
Okay, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Churches have them there, yeah.
But the term for this segment is sustainable design.
There you go.
Sustainable design.
Okay.
Design it so that it would hold over the number of years, and it could shift with, but they refer to it as sustainable design.
That is fantastic advice, and that is good
That's
advice
it.
if you're a homeowner or an investor. Keep that in mind. Give them a call at RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. Liz and Gina, they have got the best information. Clearly, we will be right back after this.